Booze. Welcome to Tuesday night. Yay! We started the week. And guess what? My cat went outside today and she saw her shadow. So it's officially spring. I think that's the way it goes. That's what she told me anyway. So this used to be our cat that used to go out. I swear to God, it would be almost blizzard outside and we'd have to go get her and drag her back in the house, but now she's like, I think she's got to be about 12 because we weren't sure. Oh, yeah, I heard, Ernie, that you guys are having summer in Colorado. So, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry, that wasn't very ladylike to make that noise. I'm going to let my grandma watch this on Thursday with me. So, I'm going to try not to curse tonight. So, hi, Grandma, in the future. But yeah, so she didn't go out like all winter because it's been friggin' cold here. And so she went out today. And when I got back home earlier, she was sitting in my parking spot, like, come on. I only came out here for a little bit, but nobody was here to let me in. So it's officially spring. Fiona has journeyed outside. She stayed out there for a little bit. So, yep, spring is here. It's still cold at night. Like it got down to 30 and there were little snowflakes yesterday morning. So, yeah, we're not quite out of it in Michigan, but I hope the rest of you guys are warm. And I'm telling you, um, yeah, like I said, I hope the rest of you guys are doing warm because I don't know what we did wrong in Michigan this year, but we must have pissed Mother Nature off because she just gave it to us with everything this winter. Typically we'll have some of those nice days, but man, we didn't even get one. And yeah, everybody say hi to my grandma because I'm gonna let her watch this on Thursday. So I'm gonna get it all set up so that she can watch. So I'm gonna start trying to behave myself a little bit, but she knows I use grown-up words at times. She doesn't like it, but I am gonna try to be ladylike a little bit. Yeah, it's hard, guys. It's really hard for me, especially up here because this is my, like, free time kinda. Yeah, this is the time I can kinda let loose a little bit, but I am all set up. I've got chat on my phone, I've got you guys up here on my monitor, and I've got my notes. You know how I'm always complaining about my notes, having to move stuff around? Well, I ain't gonna do that because I got 'em on my blah, 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 bump. Could you guys understand that? I've also learned a new language, since I saw you guys last. I have 2 cats running around here. I've got a one is up on I swear to God, the one calico is hanging off of the curtain right now, so this may not go very well. Um, where was I? But yeah, I've got my notes on my what are you doing? I hope you guys can't hear all of that. Um, I've got my notes on my tablet in front of me, so I'm gonna see how this goes. So far, it looks like I don't know. I've got ADHD, guys. I just don't know. It's like one screen is probably about my limit at the time. And yeah, it's Tansy. Adele is spayed, because she's like 3 now. Tansy just got her appointment made for her spay. So I told her about it, and she doesn't understand yet, but God, I can't wait. But it's gonna be like 2 months. Yeah. So, yay me. And it's spring, and spring is sprung, and yeah, everybody's feeling, you know, springy. So, with that, happy spring. And I'm going to start out. I've got 2 updates for you guys tonight. And then I finally have Lulu all ready to go. I got all my photos edited. Did I say it right this time? I think I did. Holy crap. I've come a long way, guys, since the beginning. Um, Now I don't even remember what I was saying. Yes. Okay. So I've got the story of Lulu, and I also have the artist, the sculptor, who was who did her headstone. And when you see it, it's a really pretty It's a really, really pretty, let me see here. Looks like we've got, dude, let's see. And I'm gonna delete that comment. It's already up on the screen, but oh well. Yeah, you can come into chat. You just can't be gross and rude about it. So with that, back to it. Um, I found some information that I thought was really cool about the sculptor. It's not a female, but he is accredited. I don't know why I have such trouble with words. I don't know, guys. There's a disconnect in my brain. Um, with another headstone at another local Chicago cemetery that's pretty well known. So since he's got these two pretty iconic headstones, I thought, well, you know what? He should have something said about him because I never, I looked and there's not a whole lot online. So I kind of did some digging and I found some really cool stuff. And I thought, well, while we're, shouting out all of our forgotten people or people we don't want to be forgotten. Let's shout out these artists, these guys who've made these headstones, right? So we're going to give a little shout out to him tonight. So with that, and then I also have some pretty pictures from Rosehill to show you, some really cute ones that I just kind of threw in on the end if we've got some extra time tonight that I want to show you. So let's get started. I'm going to go hop into chat and I want to see what you guys are up to. I do need to see, you know what? I'm going to pop in here and I'm going to go because I know a few of you guys know how to be moderators. So I'm going to pop a couple more of you up there. So congratulations. Just if you guys see something, say something. But hello, Gene Gamble Jr. is here. Hello, guys. I got my little heart up here. And he says hello, Booze. And we got Darlene. She was cleaning up the dinner dishes, but she is here and she has been dropping links prior to our start. So go check out the friends of the channel, people who come here and hang out with us and support us. Go support them and go subscribe to them as well. So all their links are up at the top of the chat. So go for it. Everybody would appreciate it. It'll help them out and probably help me out a little bit too. So also remember when you come in, hit that like button, hit the subscribe for sure. We've hit 350, guys. Woo woo! I know. Seems like it's only yesterday that I started. It kind of sounds like it was only yesterday too, but and I've got all my watch hours. So the only thing I'm waiting on now is 150 more victims. No, I mean subscribers, not victims. I didn't say victims. To come and hang out with us. You guys don't have to come and hang out in the chat, but if you want to, it's fun. We're a fun, lively crowd. So come on in and hang out, subscribe, stick around for a while. We're going to cover a lot of different topics. It's probably never going to be the same because my brain does not stick on one topic for very long. So we've been doing a lot of unique headstones recently. Sometimes we do crazy, weird stories where people end up dead. All kinds of stuff. Ghost stories. We do all of that. If somebody's died or thinking about dying or is buried somewhere, we're going to cover it. Those are just things I like to do. I don't know. I've got nothing else to do in my life. So that's what I do. No, I'm just kidding. I really do have other things I can do. I just don't want to. Hello, Equal, and welcome. Oh, love is within you. Love surrounds you. And we are lucky to be here in it. Oh, thank you, Equal. Love you too. All right, let's go down. Bump, bump, bump. I'm gonna go down. Oh, here, I gotta pop this up for grandma. We'll get it up here so she can see this on Thursday. I think she'll get a kick out of it. And hello, One Take Adventures. I'm gonna keep calling you Adventures though, because if I gotta say a whole name out all the time, it just doesn't end well for me. So I've always got to give everybody a little shortening, a little shorter name, just for me. Um, yes, and hello, Adventures, guys. Go check out. He's got a new short, military based, and it's very touching and it's very cool story. So go check it out on his feed too. Um, and thank you, Yamaha. Love my hair color. Thank you very much. I like it too. I did try to go black, all black one time. No, not good. Not good at all. So it's this color. It's gonna stay this color. Um, and yeah, you get one time out, and then Darlene is she's gonna put a pin someplace in you, and that'll be it. Oh, you know what? And I know Morg knows how to do this too. So hang on, Morg. Yeah, there you guys go. There we go. Oh, and I see Dean's here. Look at all this. Look at all you now it looks like all I have is moderators in the chat, but all right, there you guys go. So, all right. I'm gonna go down and hello Morg, hello Ernie, hello Dean. Say hi to my grandma, guys. Yeah. He doesn't come here to be he does not come here to be helpful. Yeah, agitator. Yeah, Ernie, it was not a good choice. It was a bad choice, bad decision. My mom told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. And she told me I wouldn't like it. So, all right. So I'm gonna start with. Did I get everybody? Oh no, I had one more here. Hang on. Why is this one? Wait, come here. There we go. Okay. My phone. It's little buttons. So, all right. I have a couple updates. So, the first one is our not so friendly spider monkey Tomb Raider was supposed to appear in court on March 13th. And you guys probably remember him. Yeah, he's a dick. Oh, shoot, my grandma is supposed to see this. I'm going to take off the comments just for a second while I talk about this. So yes, we have Mr. Jonathan Gerlach. He was supposed to have his preliminary hearing on March 13th, but now it has been postponed, and he is not going to be in front of the court again until April 17th. And apparently he has a public defender, and the public defender asked for more time because there was new information that required further investigation. They didn't say what it was. So, as far as I know, there wasn't anything else. His total charges are still about 500 criminal counts, including burglary, criminal trespass, and 100 counts each of abuse of a corpse and receiving stolen property. And right now, he's still sitting in the Delaware County prison because he has a $1 million bail that he has not been able to come up with. So I guess he wasn't making as much money as I don't know. Yeah, this guy. Really kind of. So for those of you guys who weren't here with us when we discussed this one, I don't know why I'm so twitchy tonight. This man, because I'm not going to call him a gentleman. I'm going to reserve that for nicer people. But he went on a months-long burglary spree. He was targeting cemeteries and mausoleums, Mount Moriah outside of Philadelphia. Well, actually in Philadelphia. That was one that it looks like, Ernie, please don't, Ernie, no, do not date someone like this. Don't do it. Don't do it, Ernie. But yeah, so he was breaking into mausoleums. He was getting into tombs. He was pulling out bodies. So corpses and all sorts of different um, states of decomposition. So, and then he was going online on Facebook and selling these. And believe it or not, yeah, apparently Facebook said it's okay to sell, yeah, human skulls and stuff on their platform. So, but it may be taken down now, guys. So don't everybody leave here and rush over there to get yourself a skull. Don't do it. Look for ethically sourced skulls, and what those are, I don't know. So, because I thought this all should be illegal, which is going to lead into something else I'm going to kind of hit on tonight. And I hope some other states are going to start doing this too. So, like I said, primarily he was Mount Moriah Cemetery, I believe, is the one that he's being charged with right now. And he's also been linked to the Good Shepherd. Oh, come here. This stupid thing here. The Good Shepherd Memorial Mausoleum. And this is the one in Luzerne County that I brought to you guys. Darlene's in the chat, like laying the law down. Okay, guys, behave yourselves. Dean, she's looking at you. So the Good Shepherd Memorial Mausoleum, this is the one where 2 corpses went missing. And this is the one that's been like in this state of neglect and decay. The mausoleum's fallen in, the chapel is like, it's disgusting. It's horrible that people have paid to have their loved ones put in there, and it was allowed to get to this state. People were told long before Mr. Gerlach here showed up that they wanted to get their loved ones out of these vaults and to get them to other locations because they wanted to shut this thing down because it wasn't safe. And I'm pretty sure they weren't, this guy was not on their radar. They're probably just thinking, well, crap, we might have some bodies or something, like people's going to see stuff, right? Not that somebody's going to come along and try to steal them. So he did steal, well, okay, allegedly. He is being looked at for 2, and one of them was that nice old grandma. Remember her, Mary Cappellini Pega? She was so sweet. And then another gentleman by the name of Leo Terrence were the 2 people that were taken out of their remains were taken out of these mausoleums. So right now it has been boarded up and it is an active crime scene, but they have yet to put any charges on him. So that's why we have to say allegedly. However, there were lots of things left at the crime scene, is cigarette butts, cans of energy, empty cans of, like Monster drinks, which are all the same things that he had left behind at the Mount Moriah Cemetery. So it's probably only a matter of time. He's sitting in prison. He's not going to make bail. They're probably just building their case, right? I hope that's what they're doing. The funeral director, I believe it's pronounced Unitas. So Mr. Christianitis, if that's not how you pronounce your last name, my apologies. I'm trying my best. He is the one funeral director that was asking people, hey, if you guys need help to get your loved ones moved and taken someplace else, let us know, please. Sounds like he's a pretty upstanding man, which I've got to talk about that next, that shady funeral director. Yeah, I got an update on him tonight too. So, but this guy, Chris, he seems ethical. He seems like he's probably got his license all up to date, right? But he says that a lot of these people, the families are obviously they've lost their peace of mind over all of this, and it was already a bad enough situation, and then you got this that happens, right? So, all right. So now I found this out, and I thought this was very interesting. So I'm going to let you know because I know we kind of discussed this quite a few times, and I kept thinking, "Oh, what the hell? Why is it not illegal to sell human body parts?" I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay, don't. He's getting into more trouble, I think, for actually breaking in and stealing said body parts. But it's not so much a thing about, yeah, actually what you're selling. So Pennsylvania has started new legislation, and they've got a bill right now on there for the state. So this is a, it's just for Pennsylvania at this point. And they want to, they have it, so it's called House Bill 2256. And this was actually proposed by one of the representatives. Her name is Brenda, I believe it's Pogue. And she's a Luzerne County representative. So shockingly, selling body parts is not currently illegal in Pennsylvania. So the only related charges that they can really get somebody on is abuse of a corpse and possession of stolen property, which I mentioned. And so Mr. Gerlach here, um, he can't be, let's see, it says he's, let me go, I got to go down with my notes here. Oh, and then our friend Jeremy Pauley, the guy with the spikes in his head. Yeah. He should be sitting in jail. I looked, or he should be in federal prison right now. I did try to look and find a update on him, but there was nothing new. So I hope that means he's where he's supposed to be. Otherwise, it is going to be, the bill is going to make it a third-degree felony to steal human remains and to sell stolen body parts. So this is one thing. They're not targeting legal ethical sourcing. So this would be medical and educational. So this is if somebody donates their body to science, this is how they're covered. They're not going to get in trouble. But this is going to target the people that are desecrating graves, breaking into mausoleums, and violating a person's final resting place. And not just that person, but their family as well. So they have full bipartisan support, and it is now right now in Pennsylvania. It's sitting on their sitting in the House Judicial Committee. I don't know how long that takes. It's like anything else in government, and probably going to be a little bit yet. But it's sitting there and it's waiting for a vote. So that is everything I have on Mr. Gerlach. So I'll keep us updated. When did I say he was going back? April 17th, he's going to be back. And you know what, Mark? I really can't believe that it's not illegal everywhere, too. Kind of blows my mind. I can't believe that Facebook, like I said, I've been put in Facebook jail before for making a bad political statement once. So, but these people are selling skulls and body parts. It just kind of blows my mind. Yeah. So the next thing I have, let me get Mr. Snack Tattoo, bold choice there. Ugh. Yeah, shame on you. Thank you, Darlene. Darlene's going up, down, up, down. All right. My second update is going to be our shady funeral director from the Camelot funeral home, and this is in New York. So he is currently accused of operating without a license. This is the gentleman, I believe he had 17 decomposing bodies in throughout this establishment, and a whole lot of human remains. So he's in a little bit of trouble. But this is Mount Vernon, New York. And so he's accused of operating without a license, the Camelot Funeral Home. He has pled, shockingly, he has pled not guilty. Here's the poor police. I watched some videos. Thank you, darling. You know, these two cases kind of get me worked up a little bit. And hello, Baker. Welcome. All right, I got a drink. I can keep talking. And I watched video of these poor, I'm going to assume like CSI, whatever. That's what I'm going to call them, coming out of here. They did not look like it was fun inside there. A couple of them look like they're about ready to toss their cookies. And see, yay! I'm glad you made it, Baker. So yeah, I think it was like 17 bodies that various stages of decomposition here as well. So, but he's not guilty, he says. So he is going in front of the grand jury. He's set to give testimony on April 1st. And let's see, unfortunately, all of these charges that he faces, they're all just misdemeanors. So I don't know exactly how they can get away with, I don't know. I think some laws need to change. I think Anyway, I'm going to keep going. So it says that the Attorney General's office is looking further into this case to consider felony charges. So I'm not sure what charges those would be. I'm wondering if these are anything similar to what Jonathan Gerlach is facing. I mean, would it be probably abuse of a corpse? But I would think too, like fraud, if you're telling people that their loved one has been cremated and they're still sitting in your basement of your funeral home. I think that's a little, yeah. So let me pop his photo up here. He's the gentleman next to the bailiff. And then there's I'm going to assume those are his two lawyers right there. And there was a woman that showed up and she said that her loved one was one of these 17 that was inside the building. And she said she had been asking for a death certificate for months. I believe it was her spouse. I think it was her husband who passed away. And she had to have that death certificate so that she could get her husband's pension. And without it, no pension. So she couldn't pay her taxes. And then so she's in a lot of legal trouble herself because she needed that and things got out of hand. So she said her house is in foreclosure. Hopefully that gets worked out where she doesn't lose her home. But yep. So April 1st and April 17th are the two dates that we're going to be looking for. So our spider monkey grave robber, and then Naughton here, who's our shady funeral director. So we'll be keeping tabs on these guys. All right. And then let's go to the palate cleanser because these people suck. Not her. She doesn't. She was a nice girl. And I'm going to put your guys' comments back up here on stage. You don't need to see me because I'm really twitchy tonight. All right. So I put some stuff in here about cleaning headstones because I'm wondering how many of you are going to look at the photos of her and wonder, could it be oh, hang on here. Hey, look at that. I figured it out. Um, wondering if they could clean these because we looked at the one of Francis and Francis the other day, and it's dusty, but it's in a very good condition. Unfortunately, Lulu here was she didn't get put under this glass case for a very long time before so the elements had already kind of got to her. This is Chicago, so there is acid rain, all sorts of things that have attacked the statue, and she's made of marble. So I thought this may be a good time to like sort of throw in here some things about headstone cleaning too, if we have time. So I did put some notes in my fancy new little tablet here. So all right, so I'm gonna get going because I'm babbling. I'm going to talk about this is Lulu Edith Fellows. I've talked about her. Um, no one, and nobody rubbed her nose off. They don't know exactly what happened. I'll show you some photos here. There's a lot of trees out here. So a branch could have fallen and taken part of it. One of her hands is missing, but yeah, I don't think it's because anybody did anything to it. I think it's just natural erosion. She is made of carved from marble. And I guess here, I'll throw it in here right now. So marble goes through this process. So they call it sugaring, which sounds delicious, but it's not. Let me get up here to so what generally happens you'll when I show you some of these other pictures a little more close up, I'll take myself off and I'll pop the big pictures up here for you guys to see because some of them turned out pretty darn good. Um, once the sugaring starts, it's almost best just to leave it alone. Honestly, if this was my family, I would not touch it. I would leave it just as is, let it slowly fade away. That is really the only thing you can do for it at this point. I know they probably thought this glass box that you're gonna see probably helped it to some degree so far, but unfortunately, you've still got there's condensation, and there's a lot of things I didn't know about marble that I learned last night from reading a couple articles on it. So, apparently This the oh, what is it? I don't know. I don't know if I wanna get into the whole I'm not gonna get into all that right now, but anyway, things like acid rain, sometimes people coming along and cleaning it with not the proper you don't want to use harsh chemicals, you never use bleach, you never use anything with salts in it because it will eat away at the marble. And what it does is going to start, it loses the cohesion. So the marble will expand and then it contracts. And as it does that, it starts to form this powdery. And it really does look like sugar. So for her, unfortunately, yeah, she didn't get put under glass right away, and there's some, like, little vents in here, so, some some moisture is probably still getting in there, so she's not 100% protected behind this thing, so, um, you know, I'm gonna blame Dennis Hopper for this one. What is it with the missing hands? All of these headstones I think I'm just picking ones that are missing their hands, yeah, so this is Miss Lulu, though, it's a sad story, but she lived, for all of her 16 years, she did live a pretty remarkable life. It's probably gonna sound a little weird to us nowadays, just because we don't do a lot of these things that they did in the Victorian times anymore. So, Edith was born November 5th, 1869 in Chicago. And she is the daughter of Jonathan Fellows and Charlotte Rich Fellows. And both of her parents were originally from New York, but they left New York and then they came to Chicago. She has two older siblings, Alice Vivian Fellows, and then a brother, Alan Reynolds Fellows. And November 23rd, 1883, Lulu passes away from typhoid fever, which she had just an 11-day illness. So she became infected probably around her birthday, sadly enough. Usually by the time you start like that 11 days when she started showing symptoms, yeah, she probably had been infected sometime around her birthday, unfortunately, since her birthday was the 5th. She passed away on the 23rd. And she was buried the very next day here at Rosehill Cemetery. Now, Lulu was something that I'll never be. She was an elocutionist. Ah. I cannot, I will never achieve that. However, Lulu was apparently, she studied under a gentleman by the name of, where did he go? Professor Dixon. Why did I not pull his, I did not put his full name in here. Um, Hang on. I know I put something in here. Nope, I guess I didn't. Anyway, so an elocutionist is basically what they would do. This was before Netflix, movies. They just didn't have a whole, there was no YouTube, none of that. So they would go and watch people perform. They would recite poems and little bits from plays and parts from literature, like famous works, famous speeches. And even the Victorians, they did have a sense of humor. They had comedic bits that they would read out loud, and they would have public speaking competitions. So this is what Lulu had been doing for many years, and she was very good. She performed in front of Robert Todd Lincoln, which I thought was pretty cool. And January of 1882, the mayor of Chicago at the time was Carter H. Harrison, and he, in the paper, they quoted him as saying, oh, I hope I can. They spoke a little differently back then, so bear with me, guys. He said he had the pleasure of hearing her read in 1880, and she will, he wrote, from all I can learn, take a high position as a reader in public. I take great pleasure in commending her to all who admire and enjoy elocution. So she studied at, it was called the Park Institute, and it was under, I already said, Professor Dixon, and he was a noted elocutionist of his time too. So in January 1882, she performed The Brakeman at Church. I was going to look this up, but then I was told not to because I probably wouldn't understand it. So I'm going to give you guys the little synopsis that the person who wrote this article told. I'm going to trust them. Hopefully they're not going to steer us wrong here. It is a comedic piece, and it is about a railroad man who compares various religions to railroad lines. And like most Victorian comedic pieces, it doesn't seem very funny by our standards. So, like he says, you can read it here, but you don't have to because you're probably not going to get it. So, and the Tribune had posted, though, they printed in the paper, and it said she performed it very acceptably and responded to a hearty encore. So I think in Victorian words, that means she did a really good job. And so she is the baby of her family, and it must have really hit them. Well, it did. It hit them hard. On her tombstone here, you're gonna see I'm gonna move it ahead so you guys can see some actually here. I'm gonna do this. So this is her obituary, and I wonder if I can you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna make it big. There we go. I'm gonna pop off the comments just for a second. Um, Says here, Miss Lulu Fellows, a promising young reader of the city, was buried from her home, number 6 to Colb Street, last Sunday after a brief illness. Miss Fellows, although scarcely 16 years of age, gave great promise for the future. When quite young, she was complimented by the Honorable Robert Lincoln, who gave her many kind words of encouragement, and also at the same time by Mayor Harrison, who testified his pleasure at her readings, and a short time after sent her a letter of commendation and encouragement to bleh, preserve persevere in her studies. See, I'm not an elocutionist. For the past 3 years, she has been pursuing her studies in elocution under Professor H.M. Dixon and has frequently appeared. Uh-oh, appeared in public, making many warm friends and who will regret to hear of her early death. She attended Westside High School and a few weeks since was asked by her teacher to prepare Bryant's Phantopia for recitation. It proved to be her last appearance, and the concluding words of the poem seem prophetic at her coming end. Like one who wraps the drapery of his couch about him and lies down to pleasant dreams. Her average in her studies was the very highest, and her memory and example will live long among her schoolmates and friends. All right. So, and Darlene says the incubation period isn't very long for typhoid. Oh, poor thing. I know it went through the city because there were a lot of death records that I that I found at this time, so it must have really gone through here. And this is says here, yeah, she's 16 years old, 18 days, and then she was a student and typhoid fever. Pretty short and sweet, these death certificates from this point in time. I'm going to pop up. And then this is her parents are in this crypt right into the front of us. And that's Jonathan. And I already forgot her mom's name. Where Charlotte Fellows. And you can see Lulu's headstone there in the back. Now, I believe that red base that it is sitting on is a later addition, but I couldn't find out when that was added to it. But let me pop up. And here's it from the front. And there she is. It's a little sideways, but I wasn't standing straight on at it. So, and you can see how should have some photos up here. If you look up into the upper right and the very upper left, there's like these little vent holes. I can't imagine those are good. And this says Lulu E. Fellows, and it says many hopes lie buried here. And I went and looked this up, and apparently this was a pretty popular Victorian epitaph for those who died young. So it's not just for Lulu's, but Lulu's Find a Grave, her memorial did pop up when I Googled this because I wanted to see if there were any others that used this one. And there were a few, but hers is the most memorable. Now, some good things because, you know, try to cheer us all up here at the end. Where is it here? Dum, bum, bum. So Lulu's sister Alice, she had the two older siblings. Alice did go on and she married and had two children of her own, and she died in Rock Island, Illinois, 1924. And her brother also married, and he died in Sioux Falls, South Dakota in 1926. And his name was Alan, and he named his first daughter Lulu. And that daughter was born in 1887, and unlike her namesake, she died in 1980 at the age of 92. So Lulu number two had a very good long life with Lulu's older brother. So I thought that was pretty sweet. All right. And up there in the upper left, you can see the little vent holes. Now, so when we saw the Pierce Monument, the one with the mother and child, that one, as soon as it was moved over to Rosehill, like it had only been in the Chicago City Cemetery. It had only been there for like a handful of years, just like a few years before it was moved over here to Rosehill. And then immediately they had put that glass case around it. Unfortunately for Lulu's, it was many years later, and the cemetery actually undertook this and did this themselves. The other one was paid for, I believe, by Mr. Horatio Stone, whose wife and child, that marker, it sits on their graves. And there was a lot of damage that had been done prior to. Move the next slide. You can see, and I'm told some days it's not very foggy, and other days you can see in it pretty clear. I don't know if they take this off on occasion. People do put money in here, so there must be a way they take this off, which I don't know. I'm sure this glass is protecting it to some degree, but so they're not sure where. So she's missing her right hand, and she is missing the tip of her nose, which Ernie noticed. And she does have that sugaring that I was talking about with the marble, and you'll see it a little more closely here. I have a full. This is through the little vent hole, and it's still very beautiful. I don't know what happened to her nose because um, maybe part of it got chipped, and then because of that open area there, I think there's some sugaring that happened there. It looks like, because almost kind of, I mean, for lack of it just looks like she's got a white mushroom or something sticking off at the end there. But I think that's just calcification. And then you can really see, so there's her missing hand, and she has a book in her lap, and I think she has a tulip in her hand. And yeah, she's just the detail. Some of these just, I don't know, some of these just hit me in the right place. I was an art major before I went over into veterinary medicine. I've forgotten so much of it, but I still like what I like. So, and like this, I'm looking at it, and she's just beautiful. From the locket that's around her neck, and the little with like the scalloping on the front of her, on the bodice of her dress, is so pretty. And here you can see this is that sugaring. So if you look really close in there, you can kind of see all those little bumpy bits. That's what they call sugaring. And yeah, there's a quarter. People throw money in there. I don't know if it's supposed to go for, like, people think it goes to the upkeep or what, but it's still, yeah, even in the state that it's in, it's still beautiful. It's so well done. She even has, if you look at the hand that's not missing, she has a small little ring on her middle finger, and it's almost worn. Like, you can see it's almost worn away, but There's some writing on the open book on her lap, but I think it's just kinda like little scratch marks. I don't think they're actual words, unless they were words at one time and now they've gone away. And these are her shoes because you guys know I have a fascination with the shoes. And it's just so hard to get clear pictures through this glass. But I'll go back again. And like I said, if you think I got an even better one, a little more close up of her nose, and you can really see that. I think that's just calcification there of the marble that's on the end of her nose. You might be able to see it really well there. But yeah, her hair, just everything about it. The details on her dress. I especially love the one that you can see. Oh, there we go. That's the one I wanted you guys to see because you can kind of see that's not like a clean break. Like if something came down and chipped off her nose. Thank you, Darlene. I think she got a chip off her nose and now it's got some calcification on there. But I didn't realize marble was so fragile like that, so I'm really glad that the Francis Pierce stone statue, the one with the mother and baby is under glass like it is. But she's still gorgeous, no matter what. Oh, well, wait a second. Oh, you know what? I got a video for you guys. That's what I have. I'm like, "Wait a second, I've got more." So, the sculptor that did Lulu. His name is Andrew Gagel, and it's Gagel, and he signed the base of this. And wait a second, did I? Huh. I had a photo of the base, I thought, with his signature on it, but maybe this might be one of those that I forgot to. This is the backside, though, that I thought was really interesting because you can see like how the top part of the bodice of her dress comes down, and you'll see it a little bit better in the video. But I'm gonna say I love her, she's beautiful. But of all of these little little people statues, this one had a vibe. Um, it was spooky. There was something so I wanna say sad, but that's not quite. Just spooky, sad, I guess that's my best words for it. Something just wasn't quite, like, we looked at Maddie May, who's reclining on her chaise lounge, and, she's got her book in her hand. That one's not creepy to me. There's a couple other ones of little kids that are in this, cemetery as well that I took photos of. None of those were creepy to me. Melancholy, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just knowing that she had just this big, bright future probably ahead of her. It makes it so much sadder, but there's something about, like, looking at her photos now, like, I'm not getting that vibe anymore, but when I was standing there, it wasn't a comfortable feeling. Now, Lulu is supposed to be one of the haunted, um, graves here at Rosehill. Uh, she and another statue by the same sculptor, both are haunted. um, Hers is here at Rosehill, and the other one is at Graceland. We were trying to get over that to see that one, but we didn't quite make it. Um, but yeah, her maybe it is the stare. There's just something with her eyes that's just, yeah, just breaks my little black soulless heart. Yeah, let me go forward here. So I think you can see. I must have forgot to put the slide in here. I do this sometimes. All right, have have fun getting Nanners to sleep, Ernie. So right at the base here is her name, and it says Lulu. And then I can't remember one of these sides. He has uh, Mr. Gate. These are my buddies. I don't have names for them, but by the time I go back next time, I'm gonna have names for them. But yeah, those were my friends. So I did a little bit of so you guys know I'm a genealogist. I love going and digging up stuff on people, dead people. And I looked and so Andrew Gagel he did Lulu. He also did Inez, and she is another very famous sculpture she is a young girl. She was 6 years old. Lulu, I don't really count 16 at that time for Lulu she's probably getting close to getting married age, for Victorian times, right? Um, the other one he did is an actual child. So, and both of them are very iconic. People come from Tombstone tourist. That's what we're called. They come from a lot of places to come and see these particular headstones and to leave little mementos. People bring stuffed animals. You can see they put change down there. There was a photo, I think, on Lulu's Pine grave, and there's just a bunch of bills in there. Like I couldn't see if there were like all $1 bills or whatever, but there were a lot of them in there. So people put their money in there. I think it's to help out maybe with her, taking care of her. But I thought, well, you've got these two beautiful sculptures, and I looked up and I'm like, well, who's this Andrew Gagel? And I hope I'm saying his last name right. He was a German born artist, sculptor. He came to Chicago in about 1872. I found his when he was naturalized. So he had become a citizen of the US. And let me look here. I think I can just move right on down. Yeah, that's working out pretty good. So yes, I got onto Ancestry and I just started to look into them because there really wasn't a whole lot of anything. Um, and I wanted to find an obituary or find something that said, hey, this is Andrew. He had a life, he had a family. Um, I wanted to see if there were any other works of art. Um, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. And I was just kind of, well, that's really sad that somebody that made these two beautiful little girls, their headstones, right? Just doesn't have that much written about him. So I did want to include him. I mean, he does fall within the parameters of the show. He's dead now. Um, and yeah, Jen, isn't that he lived a good long life? Good long life. So, and hello, TF. And so, yeah, he was born in Germany. Then he immigrated to the US, 1872. And so these photos here, these are not, I don't think these are him. I don't think these are self portraits, but on Ancestry, I know I'm going to geek out for a few minutes. Okay. So bear with me here, guys. I go on Ancestry and I find out, okay, I see when his immigration record, and then I find out when he got married, and I find some census records and look at all of his kids, right? And I'm like, wow, he had a very good long life, right? Just looks like he did pretty okay. With most of the artists, it seems like it's always something really sad and they die young from something horrible. But not Andrew. And actually, his name, so when he came to the US, he went by Andrew, but it was Andreas before when he was in Germany. And I did notice that these are pages from his sketchbook. These are not on the open internet. These are just on Ancestry. So I put a little tag on them. They're not my photos. I'm going to show them and hope I don't get in trouble for showing them, but I did put that they're courtesy of Ancestry. I don't know if these are like family property, but it looks like the sketchbook probably got wet or something at some point because you can see all the splotches, but they're in pen or ink. Um, and then I think there was a couple in pencil, and it's in German, and I can't read German. I really wish I could. I can't read his writing. Sometimes I can make out some words, but not in his no, his handwriting's awful. But when he came here, he met and married Emma. Emma was 18 and Andrew was 30 when they were married. And they married December 2nd, 1876 in Chicago. And they had all these kids: Sydney, Edith, Edgar, Amy, Carl, Roy, Herman, and Albert. All of them lived to ripe old ages, except for Edith. And she died at about, I think it was 30, in her early 30s. But other than that, yeah, they all had pretty good long lives too. Even Emma outlived him, so pretty good for that time period. And this is the other statue. Now, this is Inez Clark. You can find it. I'm going to do a whole story on her when I go see her, when I actually get to the grave. There is a lot of messed up information out there about her. And I'm going to fix it. We're not going to keep the stories going on this channel. If we find out evidence that they're not real, we're going to state it. No, keep spinning that stuff. So her actual name is Inez Briggs. She lived from 1873 to 1880. This is the other haunted statue. Apparently, this little girl was afraid of thunderstorms. And every time there's a big thunderstorm that comes in, Inez disappears from her box. So it would be interesting to go see, but they lock these gates up at 4 o'clock. So I don't I don't know how people know this, but anyway, she's at Graceland Cemetery. This is just down the road from Rosehill. They're all pretty much kind of just right down the road from each other. And you can tell she's in a much better state than what Lulu is, because her box is completely sealed up. And I think it was done at the time, in or near about the time when she was put there. Unlike Lulu's. And there's no vent holes in this one either. So, but this is the other big iconic one that he did. I really would love to know if there's more of these around the Chicago area, because he was a sculptor, and I would love to see more of them. I may just kind of, I don't know, just follow and see what I can find on him. It's just kind of sad that he did such beautiful work. And yeah, they're like, oh, he wasn't one of the well-known Chicago sculptors. I'm like, I would think he's got 2 haunted statues. The dude's not doing too bad. But anyway, so he was active in the late 1800s and into the early 20th century. And like I said, he immortalized 2 of the city's most famous and allegedly haunted cemetery monuments. So that is Inez and Lulu. And we've already learned about Lulu, but Inez, so she's at Graceland Cemetery. She is life size. And she is a 6-year-old girl. And they say this is his most famous work. And it was completed in 1881. TF, right? She's creepy a little bit too. I think it's something about the way he sculpts these eyes. I think they just look like they're staring through you or something. Yeah. um, yeah, and you can see she's got a little parasol. And look at she's got those cute little shoes. I know I always look at the shoes. I'm sorry guys. I do have a little bit of a have a shoe problem. And then she's got a little hat that's like off on her shoulder here. So I didn't get to see her, but she's sitting in the same type of chair that Lulu's sitting in. And both of these statues are supposed to represent each of the girls. So they're supposed to be as lifelike as he could make them. So whether their parents were okay, they said, yeah, that looks like our daughters or whatever, right? I don't know, but they're beautiful. And you can see her base is even a little bit different than Lulu's. I think Lulu might have had one that looked like this at one time, but I said I think that one that's on there now, I think that is a replacement one. Um, so I'm not sure what's happened. Poor Lulu. Yeah, she didn't get protected right away, and yeah, but she's still gorgeous. This one, Inez, is in a much better state. You're going to hear a lot of different stories about how Inez died. Um, I've actually, so before I started doing my own channel, I followed a lot of channels that did this sort of thing. And there's a lot of them out there that say, oh, she was struck by lightning. And then there's some saying that there's not really anybody buried here. But like I said, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to go back to Chicago. I'm going to go to Graceland, and I'm going to get some video of her. I'll probably do a live from there. And yeah, and then I'll tell you guys her story because I have some more work to do on it. And then I can go back and do her properly. But um, she she died of diphtheria. So she was not struck by lightning. And then, even though on the statue it says Inez Clark, Clark was her stepfather's name. Briggs was her biological and her legal name. So I guess there's always been some kind of like, yeah, like sometimes people would say, yeah, there's no such thing as there's nobody named Inez Clark buried here. Well, there's somebody named Amos Briggs that is buried there. And if you look at the transcription records, probably not too hard to get Inez and Amos. Like if I've seen some pretty crappy writing on these records before, it's probably just a misprint, but she's definitely buried there. They tried to insinuate that that the sculptor just went out there and put this up. So Mr. Andrew Gagel just went out there and decided, hey, I need to drum up some business for my um, monument business. So I'm just going to go throw this one up. But no, this is actually, oh, this was a real girl. So it's been proven now. And so we can all rest easy until I do the story. But yeah, if you guys hear any of those lightning stories, and I'm wondering now, like hearing that, was she really afraid of thunderstorms? That might be a little made up too, but hey, it's a great story. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to pop myself off so you can see some of these, his sketchbook, which I thought these were just so, some of these are really pretty. So this is Andrew's obituary, and it's just Andrew Gagel, 92 years old, a retired sculptor, died yesterday in his home at 1436 Farwell Avenue, where he had lived for 52 years. He was born in Germany and came to this country in 1872. His widow, one daughter, and 6 sons survive. Funeral Funeral services will be held tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the chapel at 7066 North Clark Street. And I'm just going to pop through some of these slides. These were ones that were in on Ancestry. They're so cool. I know if Rubicon comes along, I know she was an art major too, like I was. Should probably appreciate these a little bit. I got to sit up here in my chair. I'm going to fall over. Um, but I find these, I keep wondering, like, is this Lake Michigan or right? Because Chicago's right there on the lakes. So, or is this when he was in Germany or on his way over from Germany? Some of these are just like I would love to see more work by him. So I may have a mission. And I like this one here. I think it's a shield maiden. She has her shield here, and there's like an arrow um, coming from the right hand side here. And then here's some more sketches that he did of looks like on a boat. One looks like I think the top one is like below deck, maybe. And I like the guy smoking the pipe there. It's got the little little puffs of smoke coming out. I don't know who this is, but I think it's a woman, pretty sure. Yeah, if anybody's really good at German and wants to step up and read these for me, I would love it. Um, kind of curious what they say. And two dudes sitting in front of one of those potbelly stoves, and then some little boats. Now this looks like something I drew once, and I was pretty proud of it. But you see the little seagulls up there. Um, oh wait, Fisher boats in the here, let me see if I might be able to read it now. In the hmm, well, I know that's Fisher boat right there, but otherwise, I don't know. It's in the something, maybe like the Strait of, or I don't know what German is for harbor, but I'll have to look it up now because, like I said, I'm on a mission. But here's some other ones. This is somebody named Herman Goibich. Mm, I may be wrong on that pronunciation. Don't sue me. This is the one. I think this is Tansy and I last night when I was trying to go to sleep, and she wouldn't let me go to sleep. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. I found it kind of odd because I've got a couple sculptures that I want to show you guys from the same cemetery later. Seems like there was a theme going here for some reason with arrows and Cupid. Eh, So, but yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that this popped up in his sketchbook. So, but I love this one. I would love to get like a print of it and have it matte and framed. Um, and I don't know who these men are. There's pages that are opposite in the sketchbook where he's got a lot of writing in it. And this is my favorite one. I don't know what's going on here. Uh, but it's obviously a cemetery. Um, there's a dude with that's like head and shoulders out of the ground, and then some dude with it looks like I think he's carrying a rifle. Hang on. I can see it better now when it's on my yeah, he's got a big old long gun there in his hand, and there's a dude, yeah, in in the ground. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on, what's represented here, but I like it. I love it. So yeah, I would put this on my wall too. So if anyone knows where I can get a print, I would love one. Um, and I think this is Buffalo Bill Cody and Wyatt Earp. I think this is them in Tombstones. I think they're playing cards. I'm kidding. I don't know what that is. And this is Captain. Oh crap! Hang on. I had it last night. Captain Tainman. Tainman, maybe. Yeah, close enough. Looks French. And this one's really pretty. I'm wondering. This looks like Germany for some reason to me. Looks very German. Looks like my great great Gigi, she's a little German lady. Come here, Adele. Come here. Oh, Adele's gonna come up here. Come here. If Jen's still here, I'm gonna say hi. See, Adele doesn't give dirty faces. Does she? No, she's a sweet baby girl. Oh, your breasts. Oof. Oh God. Ooh. I don't think I want her up here. Nope, you can't go that way though. Look how she big fat girl. Okay, go back over there. All right, here we go. All right. Now I got cat hair in my nose. This is a man with his fiddle. Thank you, Jen. It's my baby girl. Miss Adele, she's a princess. I like this one. Looks like some guys out. I think they're duck hunting. Hey, get away from that laptop. I think this must be Jean. Yeah, looked like a Civil War monument in that drawing. My great great grandfather has one like that. It could be. It looks like one of the. I've seen so many, like the obelisk, right? The big tall ones. There's quite a few of them out there at Graceland. Now, I was looking through his sketchbook here. I love this one. This is beautiful. I don't know what this says. A lot of his, whatever he is writing in German, he uses like he's very excited about it. He uses that explanation a lot, like heavily. I think, is that the last one? Okay. Yeah, that was the last one. So I just wanted to highlight a little bit of what I have, which is better than just saying, hey, this dude lived and died. I looked to see where he is buried because I thought, hey, when I go back to see Inez, I would love to go and pay my respects to Mr. Gagel. I don't know. I think I'm saying his name. I bet I'm pronouncing it like you would Kegel, which Adele, those are not your. She loves flowers and she will eat them. And I have some daisies back there that I got. Yeah. She's been after them for a while now. So I'm gonna look. I know he had a funeral. They said where he was, the place, the chapel place, it was a funeral home. It was German owned. So the family had immigrated, like it was a German funeral home for like 100 years. The building is still there in Chicago on North Clark Street, which Graceland Cemetery and Wonders Cemetery, the little German Lutheran one, they're all right there on Clark Street, right? So they're all very close together. That funeral home is like, it's not a functioning funeral home anymore. I believe it's like, it's a church of some type, not like, what do you call, not like I don't know. It's a church of some type, not one of the major denominations. Just one of those little, yeah, in like, you see them in like a strip mall or something. That's what is occupying it right now. And I think it looked like there were like an apartment or something up above. But anyway, it was a German owned funeral home for like over 100 years in Chicago. No longer there. That is where he had his funeral. It doesn't say where he was being taken to after that. So usually it'll say, burial at Rosehill or Graceland. I noticed in a lot of his in this sketchbook, Graceland is written in there a lot. It is the one word that I can pick out, that I can actually read of all of his scribbles. I mean, that's actually pretty good, his writing right there. But I didn't put any of the page. I just put his sketches in here. I do have the pages with the writing on it still. But he writes very close together, and with the it looks like that notebook that sketch pad probably got wet at one time, right? And that ink has bled all over it. But this is a pencil drawing here. But I'm going to look, and I want to see where he's buried, because I kind of want to go visit and pay our respects for all of us, for the whole channel. and when I go see Inez, so I'm wondering if I looked in all the Chicago cemeteries. He's not buried there. I looked for his wife. She's can't find out where she's buried either. 1938 cremation wasn't a big thing really. I mean, it could be. He could have, but um so I don't know. So I'm going to keep looking. I thought maybe I looked Wonders since it was the German Lutheran burial ground. But yeah, like I said, if he's there, they don't have him listed in their burial records at either Rosehill or Graceland. So, but there's still a few other ones that I can look and find them because, like I said, when I do go, hello, Anne. When I do go, I want to visit Inez. I want to stop in and pay respects to Mr. Gagel as well. Uh, and let's see. Did I have a whole lot? See, I didn't have a whole lot. The When I looked him up, it was just set, he was born in Germany, 1846. They don't even have an exact date. His parents were Frederick Gagel and Beletta Schmidt, and I like the name Beletta, and I hope that's a real one. Yeah, I don't know. Probably, I wouldn't think so, darling, but you never know. Well, no, he did in 38. That would have been just before World War II. I bet not a lot were going. It was kind of dicey in Germany during that period, right? So, one of his sons was in I think two sons served in World War I, and I think another served in World War II. So they were very much on the American side, so not on the opposite side. So, yeah, I'm curious. He's probably buried there somewhere in Chicago. Is just not on Find a Grave yet. Like I said, when I talked about Maddie May with the beautiful, lovely chaise that she's laying on, um, her husband's name's right there. Like it's right there on the monument. And you can see there was a space left there, right? And nobody thought to put her husband on Find a Grave as well, even though it would have taken took me not even an hour to find his the death index that says he's buried at Rosehill. So yeah, not everything is on Find a Grave. Not every cemetery we don't know. Right? Like there's some that just are not marked yet. What was Rosehill is 340 acres. You know how how many people? And the ones without headstones, oh my god. But it seems like it would be a real shame if this man sculpted headstones and did all this beautiful artwork for especially these two young girls, right? And what if he doesn't have a headstone? like I don't think any of his sons. I'll have to look. Maybe I'll do a little bit more digging. I'll see. Maybe one of his sons became an artist too. I got to get my squirt bottle out here. Hang on. I think I sprayed myself and not the cat. But so I think it is more. He's just not listed. So I will get a hold of. I will get a hold of his information, more of it. But yeah, I think I got a little excited over the sketch pads, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. My excuse was, hey, this guy did really cool headstones, so that's definitely part of the channel. Right. But yeah, I do love art. It's still got a special place in my heart. And to see something like this that I think it should be preserved. I don't know. Maybe at some point when I find out more about Andrew, maybe I'll do a whole big something really nice for him. And then we can include Lulu and Inez, because hopefully by then I'll have visited Inez. But yeah, I'd hate to think that these two beautiful statues and this man, man, he lived to be 92 in a period of time that was like knocking people off like left and right. Like people died of everything back then. And they had what, 9 kids? All of them reached adulthood. So, um, that says a lot for that time period. And I hope you guys did like these. Yeah, I have my old sketchbooks. They're not any, no, guys. Maybe someday, maybe when I can do memberships, maybe I'll show you guys my really horrible sketch pads because they're really, some are pretty good. Some are all right. If I had prompts, like if our teachers like would say, hey, go out and do this, like go do some nature, whatever. And yeah, they're okay. But if I didn't have, yeah, if I didn't have direction, I just doodled. Like I said, I had a thing for ribbons and the folds and fabric. Like I love draperies. I loved curtains. Like I could just sketch curtains all day long. I don't know what it is, but so when I see like stuff like this, like, and from the point of view too, like I don't even know where he's at. Like he'd have to, like his point of view on the ship, he'd have to like almost be like on a lifeboat hanging off the side of it or something, right? So it's really cool. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these. I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna keep looking into him. I'm gonna see where he's buried. Maybe we'll be the first channel to go and find his final resting place, and then I can just do a whole special on all of them. Yeah, I've doodled. Yeah, my mom did it too. We all had our different little weird things that we doodle. We're all have some sort of art, something that we do. I do watercolors. Um, yeah, not like this either. So yeah, this is good stuff. He's good. So I didn't put him in here. Somebody had 2 photos. One was a carved headboard, and another was like a set of dressers, and it had this big ornate mirror on it, and it was all carved, and it was in same location as what his each page of these sketch pad, and I don't know. So if he sculpted, he probably carved too. So I don't know if those were like he actually carved that furniture, or if they were just his. Maybe they were just his. But it was still pretty cool. I didn't want to put him in here if I didn't know for sure what was going on with the bed and that. But let me see. I think that, yeah, that was all. See, if I hadn't looked for there wouldn't have been a whole lot on him. So glad I found it. But I hope you guys like these as much as I did. I really geeked out over these. So I just threw in here at the end. These are some of the, I've been talking about Rosehill for what? Like since I went. I was talking about it before I went. I'm going to pop off comments and hello, Ann. I did say hello, right, Ann? Hi. Um, this is, I'm going to go big so you can see these. You guys don't need to look at me. This is one of the mausoleums there. I'm not going to do a story for each one of these. I just decided to show you some of the cool, interesting ones, since if I had to do a story for every one of these, I'll never finish with Rosehill. It's never going to end. Let me see. Make sure I didn't have any more notes in here, because sometimes I do put notes. Nope, all good. So this is the Lewis Stummer Mausoleum, and some of these I just took photos because they were really cool looking. This is the Thinking Man. Um, I I kind of I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say it what I think he looks like he's doing, but yeah. See, I can love art and still be a 14-year-old child as well. So with my opinions, but so he's one of the on the tour. If you were to do like a tour of Rosehill, he is on the map. So he is the thinking man. Yes, he's there. There's some more information about what the graves and stuff are that he's sitting there by, but I didn't get a whole lot on them. I just thought he was. We were driving around, started running out of time, and I just started snapping photos. But there he is, a little bit further away. Oh, that's very good. I just totally yawned. Um, and here's another one of the bronze statues that's out there, and this one's called the Stag. You can see what's happened to him over the years. I'm a little, um, I'm a little disappointed in some of these because when you look at the online resources for Rosehill, they show a lot of these monuments in a lot different condition, like much better condition than what they show up on here. So this is a stag, and like that deer that I showed you, that buck photo, he should have some big antlers on him, and they're gone. So whether they broke off or somebody broke them off, I'm not sure what the story is, but I mean, online I found this photo and it had the antlers on it. So I was really disappointed to see that they were missing. And it is bronze, so I could see somebody. Yeah, I could see somebody stealing them. People suck. Hopefully they're haunted. Um, and this one isn't on. It's not one of their remarkable statues, but I thought it was very beautiful. And this is the Young family, and I just thought it was very, very pretty. Love her face, and there's something about her hairstyle too that just she really caught my eye as I was walking past her. And she's just got kind of not a, see, she doesn't creep me out, and she's kind of got that long distance stare too. But yeah, and it just when I see this is the statue, like, I don't know if you guys ever took art classes. Some of you had to, you took you went to college, graduated, you had to have like an art class of some type, right? Um, if you ever I don't know if any of you guys okay, so my art classes, one of my classes, it was just it was just generic art stuff. We did chalk and a lot of different mediums that we used. And I lived in Dallas, so we would go to the Dallas Museum and we would go find a piece of art, like a sculpture that we liked, and we would sketch. And I was looking through online, and I guess a lot of people come and sketch her. So, I'm like, "You know what? I need to start going back and, maybe I need to go spend some time in the cemetery again and just start doing some watercolors of these, um, yeah, of these like I mean, right? I mm, I say right, but I don't yeah. Oh, I've got so much going on. And Ann says, "Yeah, I would imagine it would." Yeah, that's some really bad karma if you're stealing stuff from a grave. You'd have to be. Well, hey, look at Jonathan Gerlach. He's just stealing the people right out of the damn graves. Like, do you not have a thought? Like, I mean, I guess if you don't think there's an afterlife, I guess you're just going to do what you're going to do. But I wouldn't hey, sometimes I don't know what's on the other side for us, but I'm gonna cover my bases and, I'm gonna make sure I don't anger anything on this side before I go, so, um, and there's her face. She's got that, now this isn't this is just lichen that's growing on her, so I don't think this isn't marble. Um, so you could just spray the D2, the biological cleaner, you could just spray that on there and it would I mean, she'd probably look almost brand new. She's got a little bit of pitting, but not too terrible. She's still I just like the expression on her face too. That's me every morning I get out of bed to take the kid to school. I'm just like, "Here we go. We're gonna do it." And there's the Windsor family. I don't think they're any connection to the royal Windsors, but it's a very pretty mausoleum. I think I just took this photo because it said Windsor on it. Sometimes I don't know. Now this one is really cool. I'm gonna show you guys why. This was, on the list to take a photo of, the stained glass that is inside this mausoleum. And this is Harry Blom. And it's got the Grecian columns, neoclassical, and this is on the inside. It is so pretty. That whole inside was just the light that filled the inside of the chamber inside the mausoleum was breathtaking. It was so pretty in there. You would think with the red that it might look a little sketchy. It was beautiful. It was just a warm glow. It was more like an orangey, just warmth, and it was very pretty. And then I'm a sucker for stained glass, and this looks like Art Deco era, so it looks pretty old. I saw a lot of these that were broken, and um, you're I just sprayed Tansy in the face. But I thought this was beautiful. This, like I said, this was on the list to make sure I got a photo of this stained glass. Yeah, the right, and it's because yeah, they didn't want anyone knowing they were German. Yeah. And now this is the big mausoleum at Rosehill. So this is where you would go in. This is all like the little niches, the little columbariums, like the little where you could put the little urns and everything can go inside of here. There's this beautiful chapel that's in there. There's all these wings. It's supposed to be gorgeous. We did not have time. So we'll be back, but it's huge. Guys, this place is huge. I wish we would have had time to go inside, but that might just be one that I might have to just go and stay for the whole weekend and just go. And now this is the Morris family mausoleum, and it is iconic because it's got this like observatory tower to it that I forgot what they said. Yeah, it was just the observatory top. So a lot of people get photos of this because it's pretty unique. There's not with all the neoclassical looking mausoleums that are all throughout the this cemetery. I think this is the only one that I saw with a rounded dome top like this. It was very cool. And I had to throw in a couple Celtic crosses just because. And I told you guys, see, I'm out walking around the cemetery and I see one and I'm taking a photo of it. But these are really pretty too. Yeah, one of my friends did, she did me actually, I have a stained glass she made me of, and it's a Celtic cross. And it sits up in my window. And when the sun comes up in the morning, it's got greens and it just like you can see the pattern on the wall. It's very cool. And here's another one. This one was very intricate as well. I really liked them. And I mean, I think these are about 100 years old. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're that old, but not as old as the ones that I showed you from Ireland, but they're still. Darlene Morris, the cat. We'll just tell everybody that's Morris's tomb. He's got that whole tomb to himself. Darlene, since I had family that immigrated from Germany, right? They were Zasine, which if my grandma watches this, she'll probably be excited about that. Um, and come to find out, yeah, it's not even really German. It's more Prussian or Pomeranian. It was like, yeah, Pomeranian, I think. Like I've been digging into it to try and figure it out because everybody's like, oh yeah, it's German, it's German. I'm like, I've met no, there's like 4 people in this country that have that last name. So unless they all changed their name once they got over here, I don't think so. I think it's just that they happen to be of another ethnicity that were living in German-controlled, occupied country at the time. So, right, that they'll just call you German when you come over from a German-occupied state. You're all German. Um, oh, almost went past. So, I don't know if you guys saw the short that I posted, but I had to do a little spoof on love here because they're so cute. Um, I wish I coulda I wanted to make it more of a love story between I think this is supposed to be Cupid and Psyche because he's got the quiver. He doesn't have wings, but he's got the quiver, right, with the arrows, and she's holding on to an arrow. So I think that might be who they're supposed to represent. They were just really cool. I don't think they're um, too terribly old, but they sure looked like it. Because these people didn't pass away until the late 90s. So, but these look a whole lot older than that. I mean, I guess they could have bought old ones and put up there. Maybe they had them in their garden or something. I don't, yeah, not sure. But I thought it was pretty cool because here she is all kind of cool over here, like on her headstone. And she's got her little dog there. And that dog is so cute. You guys know how I am about these dogs in the cemetery. I just love them. And she's just kind of giving them that look like, dude, whatever. I got your arrow right here. Yeah. He's all, yeah, baby. He's all flexing his much. Yeah, it's just typical stuff. The man. But he's very cool looking too. Um, and I loved how, like back then, not all these guys didn't have 6 packs. Look at that. He just had a stomach, but um, she's so just the look on her face. I just loved her. I think I spent too much time at this with these statues too. And is the dog? Yeah. See, it's just Darlene, right? Yeah, it's a man. He's over there like, hey, look at me stretch and get my arrow out of my, yeah, right. And she's just over there like, oh, please, come on. I got my own arrow and I got my dog. I don't need you. But just this, it looks like she's smirking. So I don't know if she's fallen in. I think he's in love, but I don't know about her. She's just kind of like, I don't know. Do I? Yeah, see, he's obviously smitten. But and the dog, he loves her. Oh, yeah. I don't know what part the dog plays in all of this. If this is Greek mythology or what's going on here, but yeah, it's still uh, Ernie says we need men to make a comeback back. Show us how masculine you are. Go ahead. I tell you what. Oh, they all these snowflakes now, Ernie. I'm not holding my breath for any of them. Yeah. What's that song from the 80s? The hero song? I always remember that one. I sing that every night. Yeah, and I know I love her just the look on his face. He's so sweet. And like that's all I need right there. You need something to stab people with, right? Wait, go back. Yeah, you need something to stab people with, and you need a loyal dog. That's all you need. And you're golden. You don't need a dude. But I love this dog. You snowflakes. Ernie, I don't know where I'm getting half of the stuff I'm saying anymore. Yeah, but I don't know what happened to all of them. John Wayne's dead. That's it. What are you doing? You better Tansy's gonna get she's about ready to get tore up over here. Um, I have okay, as soon as I put this up here, it's gonna play. The last thing I have is, the video that I took at Lulu's, um, so that it would not be as boring and dry as the other ones were. I added some music to it. It's probably still gonna get copyright on it. So I'm gonna go full screen, and then I'm going to hang on. I'm gonna take comments off just for a second, and then, uh only got me for a second. I remember to put it back on. I was trying to clear my throat so you guys didn't have to hear me. But yeah, I hope that one was better. Still gotta get some music that doesn't put people to sleep, but, um, wait, I think I gotta take this off though. I'm gonna remove that real quick. Alright. Well, that's all I got tonight. Short and sweet night. Yeah, that was it for tonight. I was trying to think. I think there was something else. Um, I'm trying to figure out I've got I've got 3 oh yeah, and see, this right? And now Chuck's gone. When Clint Eastwood goes, we're yeah, it's gonna be horrible. Um, it's bad. It's getting bad out there, girls. Get my big old drink. So I have 3 cemeteries right now that I have to hit. And no, I'm not digging anything up out of them, but she's being such a pest tonight. Um, 3 cemeteries, just sprayer. She's over here rattling stuff. Um, there's one that's a little harder for me to get to, like, right first like, I'd have to go first thing in the morning to go. So if you guys think that you could tune in for a live in the morning, I can do a live and just yeah, drop my kid off and then go to that cemetery. There's some pretty cool mausoleums and old tombs that are pretty well known in the area. Um, or I can save those for a weekend. But then I found some really interesting monuments in 2 cemeteries that are near me that I haven't been to before. They're a little way they're kind of out in these back roads, which sometimes you drive at your own risk kind of places. So I may I may just go and I'll just drop a live and see who's out there when I do it. Like I said, it's probably gonna be something like I'm gonna drop my kid off at school and it's gonna be like first thing in the morning. I am really trying to work my schedule into some of these, but I've got a lot of other stuff going on right now for the next couple weeks. Um, so I'm not sure how Sunday nights are gonna work out, for a little bit here either. So with that, still gonna be here Tuesday, Thursdays, but weekends may be, kinda touch and go. Uh, if I do a live, I think I'm just gonna leave it open just to do a live from the cemetery, if I can get out and get to one. I think that's it. Because otherwise, I've got stuff going on Monday mornings now, and it's I'm pooped. So, yeah, and then with like I found if I'm going to these cemeteries and then trying to do all these videos, um, I'm my ADHD is like so bad right now. Like I'm like I've got all these videos that I took and I'm just like I don't even know how to put them up and what order to get this stuff in. So bear with me for just a little bit until I can get into some kind of groove with them. This is what I had planned to do all along was to take you guys to the cemeteries and then when I couldn't do lives, I was just going to go and you know, get some video and then put them up. But I do like doing these lives. Like I like having you guys in the chats. I suck at making just regular videos. I'm not that great at making lives, but I think I'm getting better. So yeah, if you guys could just bear with me for just while I kind of start to transition into getting tombstones back into the cemetery. Now that it's getting warm outside, I do have some trips planned for this summer. Going to start talking to some of you guys too about coming up here and coming up and being a guest and talking about some of your things too. I want to pull some more history into the channel because I love that. It's one of the things I want to touch on. We're pulling in the art. I really love that, so I want to keep doing that as well. And yeah, just bear with me. I'm gonna figure it out. I gotta just yeah, we're gonna just hang in there. I'm gonna hang in there. So and I gotta get this cat spayed because she's gonna drive me bonkers. That one photo of the Cupid wrestling that big she and I are gonna go like a couple rounds later tonight. I just know it already. But yeah, so this week, hopefully, I don't know what I'm gonna do for Thursday night yet, so we'll see. But I may just kind of pop up here and there while I'm out and about, like pop into a live at a cemetery. I don't know. You guys have any suggestions on what you want to see or the things that you've liked so far that you want to keep seeing? Like I still love doing the ghost stories and I don't want to get away from that. I love doing those. But it's really I can't go ghost hunting all the time. So like I'm like limited on how much um content I have for that. So unless I actually go someplace. So I got to start working on the cemetery stuff because that is something I can bring to you like right now. Or at least in the next couple weeks I can bring to you. So with that, I'm gonna cut y'all loose and I'm gonna go beat this cat over here. She's driving me nuts. And then yes. Oh, I forgot. Thank you, darling. Um, May is coming up, and Memorial Day is the last Monday in May. All the streams from May 1st to the last day, I think the 31st of May, right? 31 days for May. I want to, right at the end of each stream, I'm going to, instead of the outro, I'm just going to have the little veterans. I'm going to do some headstones. Like if I'm all the photos that I take, I'm just going to start taking some of the veterans. I'm going to pop them up here. If you have any veterans in your family that you want recognized, I don't care what war they're from, man, woman, nurses, whatever, if they served, I would more than happy to put them up here. If you have a photo of them, if you only have a photo of their grave, all of those things I'll accept. So, and then I'd like to at least have a few at the end of each episode, um, from, contributions from you guys as well. So otherwise I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll be at the cemeteries and I'll just, um, yeah. And then this cat's gonna get, yeah, she's getting me all nervous over here. All right. So yeah. So remember, so if you guys got your veterans, get them to me, the Discord. If you're in the Discord, you can just message them to me there, or even just post them in the Discord. Or you can reach out to me on X. What else? Graves, Ghost, and DNA at gmail.com. I'm working on getting a smaller email, something much easier. So with that, I'm gonna say goodnight. I'm gonna I hope you guys like Lulu. And enjoy the part about Mr. Andrew Gagel, and hopefully I'll find more about him soon that I can bring to you. So with that, I will see you guys Thursday, and kind of look out for me. I might be doing some live bombs from I don't like, no, I shouldn't say that word on YouTube. Probably get in trouble for the B word, right? I'm just going to be showing up live at a cemetery, maybe near you. Yeah, no, kidding. It's just going to be near me. But all right, guys, we'll see you Thursday night, and hopefully, yeah, this weekend too. So, all right, here we go.